Welcome to round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here live this afternoon at the wonderful sunny Eastern Oval. Today's clash is between East Point and the Redan Football Club here. Should be a cracking contest between two of these Ballarat sides that are looking to stay within the competition's top 6. Team sheets are in, and the news coming out is there is no late changes for the Kangas. That means there's the two changes from midweek, with Charleston and Cairns making the way for Valpede and Merritt, whilst for Redan there's been 3 changes. Phillips, Murphy and Lang are out. Carroll makes his debut this afternoon. Flynn Atchison is back in the lineup. And the big news, the VFL listed Craig Cooper-Peters is making his return to the Lions this afternoon. Of course, VFL listed at Footscray. And CCP, well, he's an important player. He's going to have to play a big role in that midfield this afternoon. No George, no Barnes, no Hoy, no Barker. 4 of the club's top 5 or 6 players. They'll need a big performance from him in the midfield if they are to be any chance. And again, relying on, I guess, the likes of Isaac Grant, who's led the way on the disposals and goal front this year, averaging 26 a game, if you don't mind, as well as 14 goals in the 5 matches. He is, of course, the key, the catalyst that Jackson Merritt will have to try to stop if Redan are to be successful. But you'd have to say East Point are the favourites here this afternoon. A win last week over North Ballarat at this very venue stated their claim to move back inside the competition's top 6, and I'd say they have enough around the contest to get it done this afternoon, especially with the return of their playing coach Jackson Merritt, who will just add a little bit of extra spice into the midfield. Players are moving into position. We are almost ready to go here live in round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League match day here at the Eastern Oval. To get us underway, we have Van Meel in the ruck up against Dunstan. Umpires in position. We are in position. And we're off and running here at the Eastern Oval with Dunstan getting the first knockdown. Quick clearance going to go the way of the Lions inside forward 50. Sliding there, going to take the mark was Carson. Hit chance for McLean. Off the Craig Peters. Gets the handball off there to Boyer. Left foot snap around the one. He's a dangerous goal sneak, and the left foot snap hits the post. Almost the perfect start for the Lions. But it's a minor score. One behind leads East Point. Yet to touch the footy. Lovic will do that for the first time and bring it back in the field of play. Looks to Johnston. Couldn't complete the mark at full stretch. Follows up the tackle as the captain. And in the end, we'll get a ball up on 50. Boyer, of course, kicked 5 goals in his first game of the season against Bacchus Marsh a few weeks ago. Still eligible for the under-19s. Looks like a likely prospect. Inside forward 50 for Redan. Dunstan wins it down. Johnston ducked his head, got his way through, dribbling ball, finds its way to McDougall, gives it off to a teammate down Conlon, and he tried to clear it down the line. Nice smother there by Wirtz. Picked up there by Richards, who was going nowhere. Steps over the line. We'll get a ball in on the broadcast side, in between half forward and centre wing. Attacking side for Redan. They lead 1 point in the opening minutes. East Point yet to enter their attacking half. Back underway. Van Meel takes front position this time. Knocked it down. Conlon picks it up in one motion. Quick boot forward. Hand pass was nice there by Canny. Found his way to Lovic. Off the deck there goes Grant. Toolman put the arm out. Umpire's decision makes is give it to me, going nowhere. Good tackle applied there by Redan. And the pressure by these young Lions been up early. Lawson doing the tackling on that occasion. Isaac Grant lending a hand himself. Back underway. The big man Dunstan wins it down once again. Back underway of East Point. Quick kick in the McDougall direction. Got a case of the fumbles. Opens the door for Richards. Shoved it at the hand pass nice and McLean to Bond. And inside he goes with the hand pass. Finds his teammate there. Lawson will pick this one up. Go back to Dunstan. Lawson was held without it. Advantage is taken. Squaring ball finds Fitzgibbon. Will go towards half forward. Bell with a bit of separation. 55 from goal. Left foot kick without looking. Saw a man in Farnsworth, the centre half forward, and he marks. Too far to score, you think. Around to his trusty left side. Towards the foot. McLean's a bullet. Punched away by the East Point defence. They'll come broadcast side with a kick. Looking for McDougall. Words with him. Has the boundary line as his friend. knocks it there and we'll get a ball in on true centre wing. Important touches early for the likes of Lawson, Farnsworth, that younger brigade from the Redan Football Club. Of course, a mass of experience missing this afternoon. No George, no Hoy, no Barker. Dunstan again wins this one down. Johnston coming through, got somehow the dod. Grant brought him in the tackle. Umpires let it waved on, and Craig Peters comes away with it. Drills it inside, forward 50. Off hands, trying for the big fly there was Bell. Waiting down was McLean. He left it behind. And East Point will come out through Thompson, who didn't take possession. Knocked it towards the boundary line. We'll get a stoppage inside, forward 50. Lawson did well to apply pressure, but not hold on in the tackle. Ball in right on 50. Attacking in the ground for the Redan Football Club. Lead 1 point to East Point yet to score. Van Meel with the fist. Johnston with the hand pass. Found Toolman. Stepped inside, cuffed it up. Opportunity for around the body there from Redan, from Kelson. Right to the goal square. Off hands, knocked towards the behind post, which will get a ball in. Better result if you're a Lions fan listening to all the action live this afternoon here. Round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. It's East Point versus Redan. Redan doing all the attacking in the opening 4 minutes of play. Bounce thrown falls in short. Creates a bit of chaos for the East Point defence. And in the end, a ball up will be at the top of the goal square. 20 from goal. We're back underway here. Fisted forward. Off the deck went Lovic, trying to clear his defensive 50. Hucker didn't elect to pick it up. In the end, Johnston of the Geordie variety comes to true centre wing. Walsh playing forward this afternoon, knocked it to his own advantage. Atchison gets back, and Farnsworth has a teammate in Lamb. They try to sort things out with the short ball. It's a nice one, sliding in on hands and knees. Nice mark taken there by Grant. He wheels around to his trusty right side and finds Bond. Has Lawson in the middle of the ground, and that's where he goes with the kick. It's a good one. Handball off at one motion. Over the short, from 50, lines up the goals. Bell's in a nice spot. In the end, the kick didn't have enough on it to either go towards Bell or towards the goal face, and is drilled out of play, and we'll get a ball in deep inside, forward 50. Maybe in two minds there was the veteran in short. Could have really tucked it under the arm and gone from goal. Could have really laid one off to Bell on his chest, and didn't either in the end. Ball in, deep inside 50 for Redan though. Taken out of the air, and hand pass off to Grant. Loves these situations. Right foot snap around the body's bending and into the post for the second time this afternoon. Two behinds leads East Point yet to score. Played 5.5 minutes. Lovic once again with the kicking in duties. Looks to go to the outer side with a nice kick to find Jeffries. Had to be strong, cop some attention in the marking contest. Chips over the top. Bounce to the feet there at Dodd, but he's able to get off there to Conlon. He didn't know Craig Peters was bearing down on him. Taylor tries to mop things off, coughed off the Wirtz. His right foot kick will go to a vacant half forward line. First to get there should be Howard. Steps inside to Merritt. First touch back for the coach, and it's a nice one because he's got vacant players here on the broadcast side. This first one to get there is Hucker. Has Johnston in support. Wants it to kick instead, but the smother was fantastic by Richards coming across. And we'll get a ball in. That's the story at the moment. The pressure from Gary Leland's men. Redan up to the contest this afternoon. Sides very similar in terms of age brackets, and you can see that across the field. Matchups galore to keep an eye on this afternoon. Dunstan being enormous early, sends inside 50, and Toolman did well, used his little bit of weight advantage to take the mark there and got his opponent out of the way. Short ball found its way to Merritt. He'll go inside with a kick. It's a nice one. Caught the play on as Johnston with a spearing pass to the sliding Whitaker. Long way from goal. Comes up to meet it for the first time here. Will drive East Point into attack for the first time today with a kick. Walsh is the intended target. Did well to keep it alive. Off the Hucker. Inside with the hand pass to Canny. Lowers the eyes and a beautiful pass, and just shows the ability that East Point have forward of the footy. Territory being dominated by Redan in the early parts of this game, but one entry, one shot on goal coming up. It's Joe Dodd on a 45-degree angle. Of course, came back last week. Amassed a goal and 16 possessions on return. Can he cap off his second game back this season with a goal? Kick is on its way. It's fading to the left. And one that normally doesn't miss too many opportunities. Let's let it go away to the wayside. One behind, trails two behinds here. We've played 7.5 minutes in the opening term in round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here live at the Eastern Oval. So Redan will bring the ball back in the field to play now through Short. Looks like he wants to come broadcast side. Pulls the kick down the middle because he saw an option he liked. Almost with strong hands there was Phillips. Dropped the mark at the last moment. Tillman off to Johnston. Right foot kick was clever. Should find Dodd. He marks. Too far to score from 60. Wheels that trusty left side and sets up to the hot spot. Opportunity for Walsh over the top. An umpire has paid a free kick against Redan. Against East Point for hands in the back of Merritt. Just trying to get rid of his direct opponent. And umpire wiser to that. Short will be the beneficiary at the fullback position. Plays on, goes long to the outside. Tillman, unopposed, slots in, takes a nice grab. Started well early here. Plays on, runs his full measure. Then had nowhere to go, so went backwards in the hands of Lovick in the end. He lowered his eyes and found a target. Once again, it's the experience and the precision ball use of East Point that's resulting and generating in clean shots on goal. Aidan Nesta marked 45 from goal. Always amongst the goals, Nesta, 3 times in 3 individual games. He's bobbed over this season. To kick things off here at the Eastern Oval. We shoot from about 48 or so. Kick is on its way from Nesta, leans back on it. It's across the face, and in the end, a minor score. And levels the scores here. 2 points apiece after 9.5 minutes. Live at the Eastern Oval. Round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Short again will be the designated kicker for the Redan Football Club. Wants to go short. Pardon the pun, and created a problem there for Atchison. Had to play on immediately. Short ball inboard finds Broadbent. Over top he went, and Redan showed a bit of dash off the half-back line. High tackle should be a free kick going the way of Farnsworth, who took 2 bounces, go back to Broadbent, and sends it toward half-forward. Almost a mark from the side there from Merritt. Throwing it away, opens the door here for Redan. They're at the back. If they could just find the target here. Madden has a man in the goal square, hasn't spotted him yet. Goes inside with a hand pass to Craig Peters, who does find the man in the goal square. And Bond, who drops a soda. But off the deck goes McLean, and all ends well for Redan in the end. Made a meal of it, but got between the big sticks. Goal to McLean, goal to the Lions. One goal to 8. The Lions lead East Point 2 behind. McLean with the opening goal at the 10.5 minute mark here. Man, great start from these young Lions. Ball, but only went as far. Mark taken there by Murphy. Kicks a good one, should find Boyer. He marks 50 from goal. Had Grant leading, ignored it. Marty Boyer, and he's a raking left foot kick. This is not beyond him from 55. We'll try to get a little bit of extra distance, get close to the man of the mark. Kick is on its way. It's a beautiful strike. It just needs to hold the line. And once again, for the 2nd time today, and the 3rd time if you're a Lions fan, Boyer hits the post. Short ball is a good one there by Lovick coming out of defence. Hannaford, the youngster, comes across goal. Dangerous kick, but it works out for East Point as they go towards the outer side. And the switch has been completed there with Hucker. Off to the running man. Valpede, who takes 2 bounces. Left foot kick towards half forward. It's for the leading target. Coughed it up. Hucker followed up towards Nesta. It's collected high in the contest and will be the beneficiary of a free kick. Or it might have been reversed from the retaliation from the East Point players, and it was Farnsworth, the beneficiary. Looks down the middle of the nice kick, finds Grant. He marks, didn't have to break stride. Lower his eyes, beautiful kick, finds Bell. Inside forward 50. Slingshot footy from Redan. With Grant Powell taking the mark, 48 from goal. Directly in front, the veteran. Right on in the paint. Kick is on its way. Goal umpire does a bit of a merry dance, and in the end, it's another blemish to the Redan Lions. 1-4-10 leads 2 behinds. East Point to bring it back in the field of play. Lovic again looks broadcast side. Goes long in the Whitaker direction. Landed well from the side, but waiting down was McDougall. Takes away with the footy. Nice pass, finds his target. Mark's taken there by Nesta. Didn't break stride. Has been streaming inside forward 50. The wobbly kick's not a bad one in the Canny direction. Who was held in the marking contest, says the umpire. And the free kick goes the way of East Point. So Liam Canny will shoot from 45 metres on a 45-degree angle. Notable goal kicker this year for the Kangas. Bagged 8 majors thus far. Comes in with a kick now, right behind this one here in the commentary box. Looks pretty good off the boot. And it's got the distance. It's all the way home. And East Point get the response through Liam Canny. It's 1-8. Trying 1-4 here live at the Eastern Oval. Two-point margin here after 14.5 minutes played in the opening term. Cracking contest here at the Eastern Oval. Van Meel and Dunstan continue their battle. Dunstan decisively wins it down. Taylor only went as far as Craig Peters. Left foot kicks a beauty. Was touched with the boot. Off to Grant. Runs to 48. Takes a bounce. Steadies. Shoots. And misses again. Another gettable opportunity for the Redan Football Club. This time from their leading goal kicker and arguably best player in Isaac Grant. And he misses. Short ball out of defence. Finds Conlon. And he finds McDougall inside defensive 50. Whitaker, long way away from goal, has worked up, take the mark at half back. Spearing pass is in the Johnston direction, but well read there by Farnsworth. And he started this game very lively, plenty of the footy, and sends it inside forward 50, just overcooked it over the head of for the debutant in Carroll. And Carson with the intercept takes the mark. Look to go towards the outside to East Point. The kick's an ordinary one. Numbers favour Redan. Sliding in was Lamb. Hand pass was a good one in the Matthews direction, although Merritt got a hand in there and almost stole it away. Umpire says the East Point player came through, put the arm out, and it's gone holding the ball. Free kick going against Sammy Hugh. And it's going to go the way of Redan. Murphy sends it inside forward 50. Had nothing to aim at. Was he dumped as he kicked, though? Umpire says yes. Downfield is paid to the disappointment of the East Point fans here because Lovic marked unopposed inside the 50 and it's ended up in the best hands, arguably in the competition, in Isaac Grant, but pretty much directly in front from 40 metres out. After a rare blemish on the run from 40, he'll get an opportunity to make immediate amends. 14 goals thus far, as I spoke in pre-game, averaging 26 touches from the midfield. He's a superstar. And to make it continue the goal-for-goal trend to start things off, Grant comes in, splits the middle. Redan moved to 2 goals, 5-17. East Point 1-8 after 17 minutes almost played in the opening term live at the Eastern Oval. End-to-end stuff in the opening term here. Grant with his first goal of the afternoon. Walsh having a run in the ruck, wins this one down. Follows it up, but his opposite number in Madden does the tackling. We'll get a restart. 9 points, a game-high margin as we tick along again here in the opening term. Kelson going nowhere, wrapped up. Been a great inclusion this year to the Redan Football Club. 17 touches a game, but very much all those touches are generally contested. Craig Peters trying to come away with it. Fortuitously in the lap of Bond, off to Richards. Goes inside 50 to Grant. He's a headache for most opposition back 50s. And he shows it again. Had the mismatch there. Went early. Took a nice mark. And he'll lie for 2 in a minute for Isaac. I tell you, not much of a betting man, but it's a bit of a smoky this year for the Henderson medal. This guy shaping is the option from Iran. Couple goals a game he averages, 26 touches. To kick his second, should arguably already have 3. He'll line up from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle, right behind the kick here in the commentary box. Grant comes in, 2 in a minute for him. Great start for the Lions. They move to 3-5-23. East Point 1-2-8. leads 1-2-8 after 19 minutes of football here in round 6 action. And, McDonald's Football League match of the round here at the Eastern Oval. Redan, the fast starters. Farnsworth being the pick of them. Couldn't go to this one as Dodd goes inside 50, coughed up to Wirtz. His kick's overcooked in the Kelson direction. Merritt. Look away, hand pass was a good one. Found the veteran in Carson. Right foot kick around the body was clever. McDougall marks. Pushed up into the midfield this year has Bryson. Getting plenty of the footy and getting the ball in spots he's probably not accustomed to. Playing the role well, and nice pass there found Dodd. To send East Point into attack once again with a long kick. Walsh, the deepest forward, won't quite get there. Johnston couldn't bring it down on the second bye of the cherry. And then the end of stoppage is your result inside forward 50 for East Point. We approach time on in the opening term. 15 points the margin here. Walsh in the ruck against Madden. And going nowhere from the follow-up is Madden. So another ball up is the result. Umpire clears a bit of space inside forward 50. Walsh wins it down. Craig Peters gets boots the ball. Will clear defensive 50 and fortuitously falls in the lap there of Lawson. Plays on. Back to Craig Peters who coughed it up, and now Q going the other way. Hand pass, found to Conlon. Craig Peters got him. Slung in the tackle by Lovic. And the umpires happy to throw it in the air, true centre half forward. We're back underway here at the Eastern Oval. One down there by the Lions. Bell got it back to Madden. Nesta couldn't pick this one up, and we'll get another ball up. 21 minutes played, 3-5-23 leads 1-2-8. Favour of the visitors. Johnston trying to bust his way through, going nowhere. Kelson with the tackle. Locks things up. And we're back underway again with Van Meel knocking it down. Taylor, look away, hand pass was too slick, but Johnston got to McDougall, big stiff arm, back to Taylor, drills it inside, forward 50, was looking for Jeffries, went over his head, foot race on in earnest, Jeffries with a little dance step, gets around to his right side, snap at the goal face, he's just across the face for a minor score. Had goal though, written all over it there, did Jack Jeffries, but couldn't bend it back enough. Minor score, 1-3-9, trails 3-5-23. There's a kicker in short, continues, and if he looks at broadcast side, Dunston's just come off the bench and is unopposed, the big man. He's able to just waltz out of the fences. Rain starts to fall here for the first time this afternoon at the Eastern Oval. Big fist at the back, Toolman. Couldn't quite pick this one up. The big fella, Dunston, got down. Hand pass was slick. Got his way there to McLean. High ball will go towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Grant's the deepest forward. Got it out the back. Did Isaac Grant. Hannaford did well. Ball still in dispute. Hands off there. Found Bond. Right foot snap around the body. And Redan have 4. 3 in a row for the Lions. They move to 4-5-29. East Point stuck on 139 here live at the Eastern Oval. Question marks might have been just started to be asked in the East Point coaches box. What can we do to contain Isaac Grant? Again, had his hands involved in that one. 4-5-29 leads. Redan leads East Point 1-3-9 after 23 minutes of football. Dodd off to Johnston of the Geordie variety. Been quiet for his standards anyway, and the kick there was poor. Lamb, nice pick up at his bootlaces. Drills the ball in the bell direction. Elected to wait for it to bounce. Tried to go hand inside there to Lawson. Got his own footy though off the Boyer. Sweeping ball finds Dunstan. Lowering kick was in the Grant direction. Made it a bit too tough for him. East Point trying to clear here with Hannaford. Hand pass. Matt Johnston off the deck. Couldn't get it past Fitzgibbons, the acting skipper. Elects to retreat. To Farnsworth. Left foot kick will go inside forward 50. Carson's in the hole. Should mark unopposed. Looks to come broadcast side. McDougall gets it on the bounce. Stiff arm again was good. Out the back to a teammate in Howard, who goes back to McDougall and muck around the footy here. The Cane gets the great pressure shown by the Redan Football Club inside their attacking half. We'll get a ball in. Well played by McLean. The youngster Boyer. The last goal kicker there in Bond. Oh, getting their hands around the East Point players to wrap them up and usher the ball out of bounds. Back underway at the half-forward line for the Lions. Van Meel wins it down. Johnston did so well to extract, but coughed it up there to Lawson. Drills it towards full forward, towards that Grant contest again. Numbers favour East Point. Howard comes out of defence. Looks to the outer side. Hucker over around this one. Fitzgibbons, classy, inside, left foot kick. Coughed it up, mark taken there by Lovick in the hole. The ever-reliable Cam Lovick, the vice-captain, will go towards the outer side. Short, big Boyle over the top. Knocked it to the ground. Hand pass inside by East Point. Works with the tackle. Umpire waves play on as players crash and bash as Fitzgibbons drills it inside 50. Q, clever. Got it back to Walsh. He might have just dropped behind the footy here to stem some of the bleeding. And kicks it to his opposite number there in Wirtz, who marks the attacking side of centre wing on the outer side. Measures one into the pocket, where you had Bell, who marks. One of the toughest pockets to kick in the city, so he'll look inboard to Grant on the lead. Second by the cherry, couldn't bring it down. And East Point survive again as Merritt dumps it out of the fence. He'll come straight back. And Redan can continue their pressing attack. Kicking with a slight breeze advantage and making the most of it. Fitzgibbons on that far wing, starting to do some damage, the acting captain. Numbers are down from last year, but playing an important role. As he drills it inside forward 50, Walsh with the fist. Has gone behind the footy, has Mitch Walsh, and had no opposition number there, just punched it out of play. Approaching the late stages of the opening term. One more from the Lions here would be vitally important. They lead by 20 points, have dominated the territorial battle as Dunstan wins it down. Phillips got one high. Umpire lets it waves play on. And in the end, we'll get a ball up. 35 from goal. Gives the ruckman a bit of time and get it back underway. Van Meel wins this one down. Lawson couldn't gather. Bond, right foot kicks a wobbly one. Has a bit on it. And in the end, it's fallen across the face and hit the behind post. And we'll get a boundary throw in. So good result for Redan as they lock it inside forward 50. Pressing for another goal. They lead by 20 points. Have pretty much owned the footy in their own half for the majority of the opening term. Dunstan works his way to the front, tried to handball off the ground. Handy hand came in as Q tries to clear with the kick and out the outside of the boots. It's out in the full. 60 from goal. Richards will bring it back in the field of play. Plays on. Was in two minds off the instep. Almost laced out Grant by accident. Follows up his kick and we'll see it out of bounds. And I like this coaching by Gary Leamont at the minute. Grants the hot hand. Send him forward when you're getting the footy out of the middle. Craig Peters has been a welcome inclusion in that department. And he's causing damage on the score sheet. And every time he's around the footy, something's been happening. Valpede, this week's inclusion, couldn't go anywhere. Craig Peters was brought to ground there by Dodd. And a ball up is the result. Rain start to fall a bit heavier here at the Eastern Oval. Back underway. Dunstan. Only as far as Carson. Lovic looks one way and finds Johnston, who just dumps it out of the fence to a one-on-one contest on centre wing. Whittaker did well, was out position, got it to Nesta. Dribbling kick will go down the line. Jeffries comes from the side and they were able to rush it in between him and Madden and see the ball out of play. Attacking side centre wing here on the broadcast side. East Point trail by 20 points, 139 to 4-5-29. Can't be too long left in the opening term at the Eastern Oval. Fisted forward, but only as far as Valpede, who went a second time but left it behind. Craig Peters just gets it forward. Dribbling pass. Gained about 35 metres or so there as it was professionally fumbled out of bounds there by Madden. We'll get a ball in. Now the attacking side of centre wing for Redan. Back underway. Van Meel takes front position this time and wins it down. Lovic couldn't get it. Lawson off to Grant. Inside forward 50. The kick goes. Backing back. Almost second by the cherry there to Hannaford. Madden looked sideways and took too much time and incorrect disposal. Holding the ball. Free kick will go the way of East Point and Carson, who's been like the glue of this defence for a number of years now for East Point. Comes broadcast side. Short. Dropped it off hands. Taylor, normally accustomed to getting the ball out of those tight areas, this time in a misfire on his preferred left-handed handball and went out of play. Ball in, half-forward line for Redan. 20 points your margin as we tick close to 30 minutes in this opening term. Dunstan used the body legally, said the umpire. Hand pass was either directed. Van Meel somehow got it to Johnston. Taylor elected to knock it back towards Dodd. That was clever as he goes up and under towards true centre wing. Lamb misfired, stolen by Dodd. His hand pass is taken away here by Broadbent, who wants the safety at the boundary line. And the ball finishes here on true centre wing with quarter time here in round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League's match here at the Eastern Oval. East Point 139 trails Redan 4-5-29. We'll be back soon for the second term here live.
Push buttons to park magically.
Back here live at the Eastern Oval, where it's quarter time. Redan lead 4 goals, 5-29 to East Point 139. 2 goals, Isaac Grant leads all comers on the ground with singles to Bond and McLean, whilst East Point's solitary goal kicker this afternoon is always the impressive Liam Canny. He's 9th of the season. A slight breeze did favour the Lions going left to screen, it must be said, but they've come to play this afternoon, and when you take into account that the last time these two sides met, it was East Point by 109 to 64, and the average winning margin in the last 5 meetings has been East Point by 48.5 points. You could say that a few people didn't see this one coming. Fast start by the Lions. Can they maintain this? We've talked about pre-game. No George, no Barnes, no Hoy, no Barker. 4 of their best, 4 of their most experienced at this level. But Grant's been superb. Craig Peters is filling the void in the midfield. He's been super important at the clutch. And Dunstan's been getting it down in the ruck as well, which is giving them first use. So if it continues, I can see Redan running over top in this one, but only early still. We're at the second term here live. Round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. And of course, you can tell we're at the Eastern Oval, and we're off and running again with Dunstan winning it down straight to Grant. His kick was smothered. Craig Peters couldn't quite get it off his boot laces. Hand pass there by East Point finds Conlon. Sliding in is Nesta, and he's paid the mark. So Nesta plays on, drills it inside 50. Whitaker. Now, did he have first hands on? Umpire says yes. Lamb thought he might have got across and got the fingertips in there, but no. Umpire says first and last hands are yours, Bradley. And he'll line up for the perfect start in the second term for East Point, directly in front from 45 metres out. Their leading goal kicker in 4 games thus far, Brad Whitaker. Of course, returned after missing pretty much all last season, as 50 metres is the penalty. Umpire, not sure if Short moved on the mark. Bit of confusion here, but it makes what was a shot on goal a certainty now. And Whitaker comes in and pops it through. And first blood in the second term does go the way of the Kangas. And it's through their assistant coach in Brad Whitaker. Opening goal, the second term goes the way of Brad Whitaker. 2-3-15, trails 4-5-29. Kangas now need to get back-to-back goals and reduce the margin on the scoreboard. Van Meel and Dunstan back underway here. Dunstan wins it down. Conlon off the wing grabs the footy. Looks laterally and manufactures a pass in the direction of his teammate and his coach in Merritt. Spins on a dime, gets the right foot kick down the line. Coming through there is the last goal kick in Whitaker, trying to cough it up in the direction there of Dodd, stolen by CCP. Craig Peters got it out to Fitzgibbons, who took a long time, did the acting captain, but shrugged off the tackle enough to get it to Short, who just dumps it down the line off one step. Big fist from Boyer over the top, and the youngster says that our play, and virtually opposite from our broadcast position on true centre wing on the outer side, we'll get a ball in. 2.5 minutes played in round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here live at the Eastern Oval. 14 points the margin. We're back underway. Dunstan takes it out of the ruck. After the impressive Farnsworth, his hand pass is a beauty to Richards. He'll send Redan inside 50 with the kick. It's a beauty. Couldn't take the mark down there. Was Murphy. Goes laterally to Bond. Off to Richards. Dumps it towards full forward with a spiral. And it's out the back and marked by McLean. And sometimes it just pays to get boots a ball. And for a goal-for-goal start here, McLean comes in and kicks his second. And the instant response comes to Redan. And McLean loved it. Loved to show the fans how many he's got this afternoon. And the Lions move to 5-5-35 to East Point, 2-3-15. McLean second. And, Richards was the man who started that chain and finished that chain. Just rushed it forward to the goal square. McLean's been playing senior footy here in this competition for 7 years, probably now. And he's used his body there. Of course, spent some time in the VFL at North Melbourne. Bit of training there and had the mismatch with Howard and made the most of it in the goal square. One down by Van Meel. Only straight to the Craig Peters. He kicks off the outside the boot. Johnston wants some protection. Teammates get the footy instead. Rush it towards true centre half forward. Canny couldn't gather. Johnston busts his way through. Left foot kicks in the McDougall direction. Wirtz, his direct opponent, gets the footy at the back. Farnsworth will go over the top. Was looking for Richards and almost got their way out of that one. Did Redan. But particularly Farnsworth. He's been terrific off halfback to start this one, the number 38. Van Meel to a dangerous spot. Dodd, Johnston, right foot kick will go towards the goal face. And Whittaker. Now the umpire said it was touched over the line. No, yes, they've paid the mark after a quick conversion. And Whittaker for the instant response. And he's second in this term. Tucked up in the left forward pocket. As now the umpires are going to reconvene. After I thought they convened to confirm it was a mark. The non-official umpires come a long way and said it wasn't completed. And we're going to get a boundary throw into the disbelief for Brad Whittaker, myself, and everyone here in attendance at the Eastern Oval. Can they make amends and get a quick shot on goal, maybe? Dunstan takes out the ruck, boots the ball, will fall out on the full. And Matty Johnson will try and claim it and shoot from 40. And, he's a special player, and this isn't beyond him. Tight pockets to kick. So Johnston will kick this from about 40 metres or so, up against the boundary line, goes with a drop punt, and that was always near side, and fails to register a score. So Craig Peters will be the man to bring it back in the field of play. Looks to go the outer side, directs a bit of foot traffic as he sends a long ball there in the direction of Broadbent. Was cleverly spoiled by Canny. Did well to not impose at the back here towards Atchison. Fitzgibbon took him on. Is gone. Holding the ball. Free kick the way of East Point. And now the Kangas through Merritt. Will drill it to the hot spot. Looking for Whittaker. Couldn't take the mark. Crummer's favourite. Redan as Grant just dumps it out of the fence. It's going to come straight back. Mark's taken by Carson. Has options everywhere. He elects to go to the leader. McDougall sliding in. Couldn't complete the mark. Grant just did enough. And a let off for the Redan defence because Carson had options left, right and centre. Went to go towards McDougall. The kick just didn't have enough weight on it to make it. And we're back underway inside forward 50. Johnston, great extract. Like to go backwards to try to go forwards in the Lovic direction. Farnsworth went without it. Big tackle there by Craig Peters coming through the little number 1. And a ball up. It's amazing what a different look this Redan side has when they have CCP through that midfield. In and under, doing all the dirty work. Finding plenty of the footy to start here. On cue, gets the clearance, but was smothered there by Van Meel. Goes the second time, there's Cooper Craig Peters. Going nowhere, though, by the umpire. Ball up, a true centre half forward will be the result. 7.5 minutes played in your second term. Back underway. Neutrally down. Craig Peters dives in. Stolen by East Point. Maybe had a case for in the back. Hannaford got it to Johnston outside the boot. And Packer plays form again and another stoppage result. Of course, had a little bit of a shower at the end of the first term, making it a bit greasy out there at the Eastern Oval. All the territorial dominance of the game being played to left of screen thus far. Dunstan knocked it down to space more than anything. Conlon's the only man there, though. Dumps it inside, forward 50. McDougall, 3 bites of cherry, couldn't mark. Word's got the final fist in there. Walsh off to Nesta. Drilling tackle there by Fitzgibbons brings him to ground, and a stoppage inside forward 50 for East Point. Well done there by the acting skipper and Paddy Fitzgibbons. Hold things up in defence. Dunstan again wins it down. Straight to Dodd though. And you can just see that his size and weight advantage in the ruck against Walsh and Van Meel's really starting to come into the contest here. Walsh elected to go early. Straight down though via Dunstan to Grant. A rare fumble. Works out though to Broadbent. Fitzgibbons has to be quick. Got boots of ball. McLean working a long way up the field. Trying to go his own advantage there on centre wing. One done by Redan. The rushed his forward trying to find his first touch in league football there was Carroll. He went without it. Gave it to Bond though. Did Redan as they go towards true centre forward. Boyer had it fisted away from him. East Point knock it towards the broadcast side centre wing. Canny with the left foot kick will dribble inside forward 50. Whitaker went to ground. Wirtz got out the back to Farnsworth and off he goes. He's been electric off there. Fitzgibbons wants out the back. Van Meel fisted it forward. Conlon. The ever clean Conlon will go backwards. Finds Howard. Right foot kicks in the Johnston direction. Elected to knock it on because he had a loose man in Merritt. That was fantastic. Inside 50 they go. Walsh will send it towards the top of the goal square. Whitaker couldn't mark. Canny waiting down. Keeps it in. Steps around a whoopie tackler. Inside he goes and drills home his second. Goal of the day stuffed there by Liam Canny. And East Point move to 3-3-21 here live at the Eastern Oval. I think we'll see that one midweek on all the socials. Goal of the day saw stuff from Liam Canny with a beautiful sidestep. His 10th goal of the season, his second of the afternoon. The Kangas 3-3-21, trail Redan 5-5-35 after almost 11 minutes played in the second term. Back underway here. One down by East Point. Johnston towards Taylor. Marked it. Inches off the ground and spearing pass inside 50. Looking from Whitaker. It was pinpoint. It was perfect. And the assistant coach will line up directly in front. And for a couple of minutes for East Point, and for the first time this day, they're shooting for back-to-back goals here. So Whitaker to join teammate Canny as the mobile goal kickers this afternoon. Starts his approach and will shoot from 45. Whitaker's kick is on its way. And it's just away to the right. Minor score 3-4-22. Trails 5-5-35 and short on the mark. Did a nice little spin move. Might have been just enough to put off his opposing number, and Whitaker missed from gettable territory. He'll go short to Farnsworth. Takes the mark. Got the play on and dumps it down the line. Bell will fly from the back. Johnston parks himself in front. Couldn't complete the mark. Valpede comes through. Look left, look right. Decide to go back towards Q. He dumps a wobbly one inside forward 50. Farnsworth from the back. Couldn't complete the mark. Hand pass was partially smothered. Dodd dives in. Shoveled it out to a dangerous area. Johnston got boots of ball towards the hot spot. Got the mismatch down there. Does Walsh. She couldn't complete the mark against Broadbent. Tried to go off the deck and in the end has rushed through for a minor score. And even 2 goals or 12 points is your margin. Short will do the kicking in duties once again. Caught the play on. Spearing pass is a good one. Finds the little man, CCP, Cooper Craig Peters, plays on, looks to go out towards centre wing. His kick was in the Bond direction and just didn't sit up for Daniel Bond as it's gone out of play, and we'll get a ball in on true centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position. Round 6 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here, live at the Eastern Oval. East Point trail Redan by 12 points midway through the second term. Van Meel wins it down. Craig Peters again. Somehow got away. Lucky to be not paid on the ball, though, as he really didn't get a boot to ball. Hucker off to Johnston. Inside 50, looking for Walsh. One grab, couldn't bring it down the second chance. Wirtz did enough. Then he had his head ripped off inside defensive 50. Points to Wirtz. Points to the Redan Football Club. They're holding up against a charging East Point outfit this term. Although that kick, as I was wrapping them up, has been coughed up inside defensive 50. Floating in was Johnston, who takes the mark. Matty Johnston averaging 36 touches a game this season from the midfield. This has only been the slightest knock on his impressive resume. Sometimes doesn't capitalise on shots on goal. Kick is on its way, once again across the face, and is rushed through by Wirtz for a minor score. 11 points now the margin. Redan just need to slow things down here, take some of the oxygen out of the contest. The charge from East Point is on. Even better if they can get one against the run of play. Short looks to come broadcast side this time. Lawson's by himself, and it's a beautiful kick. Mark's taken there by Harry Lawson. Still a teenager applying his trade in this senior football side at Redan as he dumps it down towards centre wing. Johnston with the fifth season out of play. We're going to ball in on centre wing here on the broadcast side, right in front of us at the beautiful Eastern Oval. A typical winter's sort of afternoon here in Ballarat. We've had a bit of everything, bit of rain, bit of wind, bit of sunshine to start things. Most importantly, we had great action on field. Kelson took his opponent without the footy. Umpire blindside, got it to Johnston, got rid of it. Hucker going nowhere. Gave off to a teammate who was drilled without it in Conlon. He'll win the free kick here on centre wing. Waits for some East Point forwards to push their way back down. Redan, plenty of numbers behind there. There's a long one in the Whittaker direction. Short read at best. Beats him one-on-one this time and takes the mark. Right on defensive 50. Short comes across. Should find its target in Wirtz, who left it behind in the mark, but has enough time to go back and tries to make amends with a kick, and Short slid in and made it look better and held on just. His short one will find Lamb. Goes down the middle with a kick, finds Madden. This is what I talk about. Take a bit of oxygen out of the game, possess the footy, run hard the other way. Short, for his third touch in this chain, takes the footy. 6 disposals inside the defensive 50 here from Redan. Now he's called the play on. Dumps a long one towards centre wing. And in the end, unopposed, the mark is taken by Madden. Sweeping ball inside. We'll find Kelson towards half forward, towards Bell. Once out the back, used the body legally. Hannaford, for not the first time today, he's done well. Got away the bigger opposition. Comes away with the footy. His hand pass was in the direction there of Alpede, who was knocked towards the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in. Just on 50. Now the attacking end for Redan. Madden and Van Meel to do the ruck work here. Van Meel wins it down, despite maybe having a bit of the jumper. And in danger, said the umpire, with the kick off the deck that came from East Point. So free kick will go the way of the Lions. Go the way of Kelson, who can send them inside 50. Looks to the leader, Grant, who marks right on 50. Plays on. Uses that stand rules to his advantage. Lines up for number 3. But off hands was Bell on the line. It didn't have an extra metre or so that it needed. So Bell thought he had to go fly. If he had left it, it was a goal. Touch for a minor score. Short kick in by East Point. Finds Hucker. Looks to come across. Defensive goal. Kick's got to be good to Johnston. He's got 2 to beat in the air. Made a contest, but might open the door for Redan. Quick hand pass is gone, though. Incorrect disposal, says the officiating umpire, to the big roar in the East Point contingent there in the right foot pocket. Short ball there. We'll find its target. And 12 points is your margin here. As Valpede will play on. Go towards centre wing with a kick. Fell through the hands there of the direct target. Diving in there were the Lions, but just rushed forward to nothing in particular. In danger, I'd say, again off the ground. Free kick will go the way of East Point. They tried to go quick through McDougall and Hucker, who was off to the races here on the broadcast side, but didn't go over his mark, so the ball will come back on the far side of the ground. 3-6-24 trails, 5-6-36. Played 18.5 minutes in this second term. It's come all the way back to Whittaker, in between half-back and centre wing on the outside. Redan had plenty of time to get some numbers behind the footy, and East Point's natural target has footy in hands. Goes down the line and unopposed in the end. Madden takes the mark. Short ball's a good one. Finds its target. So Phillips will drill this one from true centre wing. My apologies, actually Atkinson with it, who went short to short. Over the top, found Farnsworth. Inboard kicks a beauty. Mark taken by Richards. Swings around and should find its target. And once again, this run and gun from halfback is impressive by the Lions as they go inside 50, looking for Grant. Couldn't take it with the one hand. Tallman did enough. Follow-up was superb. Johnston took it away to Taylor, to Valpede, who dumps it out of the fence. Atchison in the hole takes the mark. Welcome inclusion into their back six this week. Flynn Atchison. Called the play on. Goes inside 50, looking for Grant. Got a few to beat this time. Decided to wait down. Quick kick from Dodd. Finds the chest, and the mark's taken there by Conlon. He'll be waiting to play on as we approach time on now in the second term. Kick wasn't a good one. Up to me, there was Lamb inside to Wirtz. Farnsworth, wrong side of this time. Manufactures a right foot kick in the bell direction. Was fisted away by Carson. Hucker jumped on by two. Free kick in the back. Has to be resolved. It's going the other way of Hucker. So Hucker with it on pretty much true centre wing. Goes short to McDougall. Drop one's an easy one. Looks for the 1-2 with Whittaker. And that was well played in the end as Bryce McDougall thumps a long one inside. Forward 50. Lamb at the back. Went to go the fist. Canny waiting down. Atchison dived in. Taylor, dribbling kick on goal. Took a leg break where he needed enough break and went through for a minor score. 3-7-25. Trails 5-6-36. East Point still yet to kick back-to-back goals in this match. A short has a loose man in Murphy here on the broadcast side. That's where he heads. Has to sit and wait. Hucker did well not to impose from front on. Off to McDougall. Found Nesta. 60 from goal. Decides to wheel back in towards traffic. Boots a ball. Johnston one hand. Takes the mark. And once again, the captain has the opportunity to kick their first set of back-to-back goals if he can convert from 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Pretty much the same thing he had early in this term. But has he got his kicking boots on this time? A couple out in the full and a behind already to his name. Johnston. Been big in this term in influence. But none bigger needed than this kick. Starts it right. Trying to draw it back. And again, his inability to get it between those two big sticks come to the forefront. He misses to the right. East Point 3-8-26 trails. Redan 5-6-36. 22 minutes played in the second term. Short once again to bring it back in the field of play. It's told to come broadcast side. Ignores that. Going to be tucked up long and towards the boundary line. Was it touched before it went out? The young boundary umpire says yes, and we'll get a ball in on the half-forward line. Right in front of the electronic scoreboard, which reads 3-8-26 to 5-6-36. 22.5 minutes played. Round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here live at the Eastern Oval. It's Redan, currently by 10 points. Back in, fell in short in front of the ruckman. Johnston went off the deck. Lamb picks this one up, dumps it out of the fence, dribbling balls very close to the boundary line. McLean's happy to see it there and gaining a bit of territory. Is a win there for the Lions as we move pretty much to true centre wing on the outside. 2 goals to Grant and McLean for Redan. 1 to Bond with 2 to Canny, 1 to Whittaker for the East Point faithful. Walsh wins it down. Grant goes once and twice. Coughed this one up, though. Got it back somehow and just dribbled the kick down the line. Clean. Kept it in. Sends it towards half forward. Bell could complete the mark. Has support. Right foot kicks, trying to get it back towards Carlson. Well done there by Hannaford. Went one way, then decided he didn't like that, so went the other way, and they work out towards Q. He kicks, though, poor one. Craig Peters cuts this one off. Mark 60 from goal. Waves some traffic. Sets a long one up towards the top of the goal square. And using the body well was Farnsworth, and just ready to better off the boot then Nesta did Farnsworth, and gee, he's been impressive at one end of the field and now can make his name known at the other end with the mark 30 metres out on a slight angle. Averaging 16.5 disposals a game is Farnsworth, and none more impressive than this one thus far as he comes in, and it's goal for goal here at the Eastern Oval. Redan moved to 6-6-42. The Kangas stuck on 3-8-26. Goal there to Liam Farnsworth. His first one of the season. And as I said, he's been a real handful for the East Point off half-back. And now getting down to the other end with a goal. Van Meel at the ruck will send this one forward. Johnston resting off forward. It's brought down by Atchison. Hand pass spills out to Taylor. Right foot kicks a good one. Should find Hucker. Didn't break stride. Runs to 50. Does Hucker. Drilling a long ball is offline and out in the full. And East Point faithful will be happy to see the youngster and Hucker tuck it on the arm, really take the game on, but execution has been their downfall this afternoon. 3-8 on the scoreboard. A few ones out in the full as well. Hucker there as well, but a couple of their big names not really having as big as the numbers they would have liked either. Johnston of the Geordie variety, quiet. Merritt, quiet. As in the marking contest, it's free kicks can be paid, and it's going to go the way of East Point for 65 from goal. Van Meel sets it up to the hot spot. Looking for Walsh. Couldn't take the mark. Left foot snap out of the contest. Is through. It's Canny again, just in the right place, right time. He's third of the afternoon. 4-8-32, Charles. 6-6-42 here live at the Eastern Oval. Right place, right time is the way to describe Liam Canny's third. He leads all comers on the ground this afternoon, and he's the only real forward who's making the most of opportunities if you're an East Point fan this afternoon. One down, McDougall having a run in the midfield. Hand passes in the Conlon direction. Didn't get boot to ball. Richards brought the ground there by Nesta, who did well not to drill Richardson to the ground there or sling him into the turf, and stoppage is the result. Dunstan wins it down. Grant couldn't extract this time. Craig Peters hand passes it out to space more than anything. Bond knocks it on the Fitzgibbons direction of the loose man. At the back finds his way to Atchison. Stops, literally, then dumps it down the line. Oh, Lawson, one hand. Nice mark. Comes inside with a kick. Finds Grant. Looks, he says, I'm going to go for goal. And runs his full measure and kicks his third wonderful goal of the afternoon. Isaac Grant has kicked 3 this afternoon, and none more special than that one at the 27.5-minute mark of the second term. They are 7-6-48, leading East Point 4-8-32. He's a mercurial and special player, is Isaac. 3 goals in the opening half. None better than that one, streaming inside forward 50. And again, 3 goals apiece in this term. Goal for goal stuff. So back underway. Johnston gets at the back to Q, running off half-back. He kicks in the Lovic direction, who drops one he normally would tag, and Taylor tried to get to him, couldn't. Lovic follows up the tackle, and a ball up is the result. Back underway on the outside, with Van Meel winning it down. Trying to go up the deck there was Farnsworth. He's tackled by Taylor. Holds things up. Of course, Taylor, one of a number of two-time or dual premiership players out there for East Point this afternoon. On cue, coming through, gets it off there to Johnston. Left foot kick goes inside 50. Backing back is the former coach, Jarrett Giampalo. Takes the mark for the first time this afternoon. One of the few experienced Lions still in this lineup. Goes short, too short. Comes out broadcast side and was trying to get a third amigo there in terms of Bell, but falling in front was Murphy taking the mark on true centre wing. As we approach the 30-minute mark this second term, Murphy dumps a long one down the line. Madden, did he push? Umpire says yes. Free kick will go the way there of Howard. Little Bronx cheer coming from the East Point crowd as his short kick inboards a nice one to find Conlon. Plays on. Had nowhere really to aim for, so goes back to Lovic with the 1-2. And before they could get their running gun off half-back through Q, the siren has sounded for half-time here at the Eastern Oval. 4 goals, 8-32. Trails 7-6-48. For the Lions, was 3 goals to Isaac Grant and a couple to McLean. As a bit of push and shove inside defensive 50 there for East Point. With Bond and Farnsworth, the other goal kickers for the Lions. 3 to Canny. He leads the way up forward for East Point, and he's kicked a couple of absolute beauties this afternoon. Whitaker has the other goal. We'll take a 10-15 minute break and be back for the second half action here live from Eastern Oval.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
At number 1, it is Sunbury's Cody Brand. Let's let the commentary finish the play.
Ball off to Brand. He's a raking kick. It's on its way from 55. Cody Brand goes bang.
At number 2, it's Lake Windaree's Callum Mackay. He takes a strong pack mark, then kicks a goal on what was a special day for the Lakers. At number 3, it's East Point's Matthew Johnson. It's a perfect snap from the pocket. At number 4, it is Melton South's Moeva Lega Frost. He takes an absolute ripper of the Specky for the Panthers on Saturday. At number 5, it's Darley's Brett Bewley. It's a special play, so let's let the caller finish it off.
Shove it to Hamhaas. Now to Bewley. Steph Armington runs the 50 or 5, lights up the goals, and kicks a wonderful third of the afternoon. Take a bow, Brett Bewley. 3 goals for the afternoon, 11 for the season, and the Henderson medalist is on fire with the Devils this afternoon at Clark Oval.
push buttons to park magically.
Welcome back to the Eastern Oval for round 6 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League's match of the round here between East Point and Redan. Redan lead by 16 points at the halftime break. Both sides just going through their final huddles. East Point just breaking off now from theirs, trailing by 16 points. And as I said in the second quarter there, in their last 5 meetings against Redan, they've had an average winning margin of 48.5 points. Redan, don't know if they knew that, have certainly come out with a different mindset in this game, been very much pro footy and positive all afternoon, and have really took it up to the 2019 grand final premiers, if you will, in East Point. But in saying that, well, there's no George, no Barnes, no Hoy, no Barker. That's a lot of experience out of the lineup for Redan, and their young legs, I mean, they've been impressive. I mean, Farnsworth, I've mentioned a number of times, been fantastic. Grant, obviously. Richards has done bits and pieces. Broadbents look good at times. Boyers look good at times. So these kids have been great. Can they hold it for a full quarter effort? That's the question that's going to be answered in this third term. They've got a slight 2-3 goal breeze. They need to slam home the goals like they did in the opening term. Create a buffer on the scoreboard, and then hold on the last if Redan want to be victorious. And an upset on the cards here at the Eastern Oval. 4-8-32. East Point trails Redan 7-6-48. Everyone's ready to go here for the second half live this afternoon. We're waiting for the last few little kids. Kick a few snaps around the body through the goals. Just head off the field and we'll get the third term underway here. As I said, round 6 action. And the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League live from the Eastern Oval. We're off and running once again with Dunstan winning it down, but taken away by his opposing number in Van Meal. He's up and under kick. Will be paid the mark, but knocked on by Craig Peters. Only as far as Jeffries. Wheels around to his right side, sends it towards centre half forward. Broadbent picks this one up, sends it down the middle. Mark should be paid and is. And it's by the debutant, Carroll. Getting involved and getting off to Grant. Left foot kick inside. 50 finds Lawson. And again, it's the kids. Broadbent. That time Carroll, Grant, and now Lawson to line up pretty much directly in front for the opening goal of the second half. Harry Lawson, still a teenager, burst on the scene last season. He's a superstar to watch as long as he stays at this level. And the number 64 from 50. Kick is on its way. Kick is long. Kick is straight. And the kick is good. Redan get the perfect start. 8 goals, 6-54 leads East Point 4-8-32. Great slingshot by the Lions from half-back to full forward. It's been impressive to watch all afternoon from Gary Lewon's men. Back underway here. Dunstan again decisively wins it down. And Dodd couldn't go nowhere in the Craig Cooper-Peters tackle. CCP. One down there by Dunstan. Grant got one high, said the umpire. Free kick going the way of the Lions. Plays on. Sends it towards half forward. Wasn't for his intended target, but falling in front there. Mark's taken by the acting skipper in Fitzgibbons. Might have got one in the mush on the way through. Gives it off to Grant. Tries to draw the man. In the end, right foot kick. Will go right to the goal square. Lawson's the target and forced to punch that one through. Was Hannaford for a minor score. 8-7-55 leads 4-8-32. Johnston, being one of the Kangas best, will bring it back in the field of play. Looks long into the outer side. Off hands. Jeffries waits down. One hand pick up was superb. Turned on the afterburners. And the left foot kicks down the line. Wirtz gets there first, but fumbled. Opens the door here for East Point. Dodd over the top. Found his target, McDougall, who got a case of the fumbles himself. He was streaming in on goal. Maybe an opportunity missed. Jeffries ducked the head trying to make amends for his teammate. Conlon stuck at the stiff arm, and he's gone holding the ball. Umpire saw that as prior opportunity. Free kick the way of Wirtz, who follows up well after a fumble from him. Nearly opened the door for East Point to answer back. His long kick to the outside finds his target in Lamb. Goes inside the Fitzgibbons. Right foot kick in the McLean direction. Went to ground early. Well taken mark there by Thompson. Didn't fall for the trick and just watched the footy into his arms and caressed it on his chest. He comes across and finds a target. And the Kangas look to come towards Hannaford inside the fence at 50. I've liked the look of this young kid. Had a couple nice moments. That kick was in the direction of Conlon, well played by Farnsworth, who's been super, who fisted out play. May not feature in the votes from the umpires at halftime, but certainly be number one on Gary Lewin's board, I can assure you. He's been super across half-back. A breakout moment for him here live at the Eastern Oval. Back on the way, Conlon, fought over with Dodd, boots a ball. Fitzgibbons on hands and knees. Now, did he dive on it? The umpire says no. Question was asked by Jackson Merritt and his captain, Matt Johnston. But the umpire, wiser to it, says, I'll throw it in the air. Van Meer wins it down. Merritt off to Johnston to now Dodd. Looking for McDougall on the outer side. Couldn't take the mark. Wirtz did enough. Fitzgibbons had support. McDougall didn't give up on the challenge, but he's locked up on true centre wing on the outer side. Virtually that was from our broadcast position. We'll get another ball up. Played 5 minutes in the third term. 4:8:32 trails 8:7:55 the way of Redan. Fitzgibbons taking a couple of blows and was slow to get up. And now Wirtz is the man coming from the field with the blood rule. Has to be said, it's done a great job in defence this afternoon on McDougall. McDougall coming into this one averaging 26.5 a game in terms of disposals. A goal a game as well. Played a bit more forward with the return of Merritt this afternoon and hasn't had the same influence as he had in the last month of footy here in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Now he's direct opponent off. Maybe he can do some damage. Ball goes towards half forward. Jeffries wins this one. Inside hand pass, missed his target. CCP spun the tackle. Looking for Giampolo. Johnston with the tackle. It is rewarded. Free kick. Dodd trying to take it away, but it's going to come back to Matty Johnston. 70 from goal. Now loads up a long one. Inside 50, looking for Whittaker. Shaw got the spoil in there. Whittaker tried to keep it in the field of play, couldn't do so. We'll get a ball in. Deep inside, forward 50 in the left forward pocket for East Point. It's been goal from goal since quarter time in this one. We'll get back underway. One down. McDougall going nowhere. Atchison with the tackle. Looks like he's just shuffled across with Wirtz off the ground with the blood rule. To watch Bryson, who'll be on the move at this contest. But Dunstan says, I'm not going to worry about that and take it out of the air. Clears defensive 50. Q sends it back inside. Forward 50 for the East Point. It bounces at the back. Short gathers. Dumps it out of the fence to a vacant half back line. Bouncing ball and the boundary line wins out. Took a nice off-break turn for the Redan Football Club. Matthews was able to see it out of play and we'll get a ball in. Between half back and centre wing on the broadcast side. Redan lead this one by 23 points. And we're back underway here. Goes over the top of the Ruckman. Farnsworth was going nowhere. Johnston with the tackle. Ball up is the result. We go again with Dunstan winning it down. Johnston maybe held without it from Grant. Umpire waves play on. Craig Peters dribbles it down the line. And Thompson just professionally fumbles that one out of play. Number 9 in the long sleeves this afternoon for East Point. Right, can we get a bit further back after the last one went over their heads? Read it better out of the hands of the umpire this time. Van Meel reaching over the top Craig Peters, right foot dribbling kick goes inside 50. Well trapped by Bell, off to McLean. Tries to steady onto his left side, was run down from behind. Umpire said it was spilled out in the tackle, no free kick. But they come away with it for a second, did East Point. Coughed it off to Bond. Matthews goes in. Bell. Dodd. Now Taylor going nowhere. Lamb dives in. Jumped on. And did he dive on it? Umpire says no. And we'll get a stoppage. And McLean, run down from behind. Umpire said it had to be spilled out of tackle. No free kick for East Point. They tried to clear with Clarkson. He was run down. And a messy bit of stoppage does clear defensive 50. Although Murphy, off there to Broadbent. Scrubby kick went between the legs of the big man, Dunstan. Johnston gets it the hell out of there with a torpedo punt towards half forward. Whittaker forced to spoil on this occasion. Short tries to go off the deck. Whittaker wiser to that. Got it to Nesta. Hand pass inside was too hot for Dodd. He dives on top of that one. Short got him. And the ball up inside defensive 50 is the result for the Redan Football Club. They lead 8-7-55. East Point 4-8-32. 9 minutes gone in the third term. Both ruckman holding. Valpede runs around to that trusty left side. Long kicks across the face of the forward 50, and the mark's taken by Hucker. Sets it up to the top of the goal square. Saw the lead coming out of his teammate in Walsh. He got a nice little ride. And one of the marks of the day taken by Mitch Walsh. Being a swingman throughout his whole senior footy career. He's played back in a premiership, played forward, played times in the ruck. Always had that ability to take the big grab. Saw it there. But more importantly, does have the ability to kick the goal that's desperately needed. At the 10-minute mark, Walsh comes in. It's holding its line, but just fades to the right-hand side of the goalpost for another blemish to the East Point Football Club. 4-9-33, trails 8-7-55. Short ball's just a required journey, and it finds Murphy as the umpire's going to do a bit of housekeeping and asks for the footy to go back to short and bring it back in the field to play that way. Short will come broadcast side, plays on and uses his full measure. Dumps a long one. Lamb should mark and does. Looking inboard. His kick's a good one to find Lawson. The only goal kicker in this term in the opening minute. Has Bond on the broadcast side. Didn't spot him. Wanted to go longer towards Madden in the mismatch. He can take the mark. Got it to the loose man in Bond. Measured pass looking for Grant on the lead. And he's got it. 50 from goal, plays on immediately, dumps a long ball towards full forward. They're at the back here, Redan. And the mark's taken by Bell. Once again, the Lions slingshot on full display. End-to-end stuff. Grant Bell marks at full forward. And it's academic from here. He will make it a game-high 28-point margin. Nine goals, 7-61, leads 4-9-33. As I said, end-to-end stuff from the Redan Football Club. Grant Bell getting his first goal of the afternoon. Number 13 of the season for the veteran, number 23 at full forward this afternoon. Back underway here at the Eastern Oval. The Kangas trying to respond with a sock off the ground there through Taylor. Lamb had to sit and wait on this occasion. Run down from behind. No free kick going the way of Hucker. As we'll get a ball up inside forward 50. Back-to-back goals to kick things off in this term for Redan. One down by Van Meel. Diving in was Bond. Taylor is also wrapped up there by Craig Peters. And a stoppage won't bother either side here at the moment. Coming through there was Lamb. Canny again. Only needs a sniff. And the goal umpire says it's over the line. He's kicked 4 of the most remarkable goals you'll ever see, ladies and gentlemen. Just gets a sniff, left foot snap, pops it through, and East Point do get the response. $12 goals for the season for Liam Canny for this afternoon. I mentioned it earlier in the call. He's been the one forward that at 4 looks, he's been able to get 4 goals and been the only small to really get it between the big sticks for East Point. We're back underway with the ball going nowhere as it's distracted by Taylor. Dribbling kick towards Jeffries. Brought to ground here by Giampaolo, who locks things up at true centre half back. Almost 14 minutes played and we're back underway. Van Meel did well. Jeffries went without it. Hand pass over top, finds his way to Nesta. Threw it away. Was trying to be a bit too slick. And a free kick will go the way of the Lions. Broadbent, who's had the job on Canny this afternoon. Hasn't done a lot wrong. Has 4 goals against his name though. As Big Fist over top by East Point sees it out of play. On Isaac Grant watch was resting a full forward and he's running up to come towards this contest to have a run around the midfield. We're back underway here. At the back it goes. Johnston dived in. Well played there by Valip. And we go long towards the other side. Hucker used the body well, took the mark. Hand pass over the top. Should find its target in Taylor. Kicks in the Walsh direction. He cops some treatment on the way through. And wasn't paid the mark, but paid the free kick. My apologies, actually Geordie Johnston, who's the man who's the beneficiary from that one. Long way away, of course, from this one from true centre wing, tucked up in the left forward pocket. Had a quiet day for a player of his talents as JJ. We know he can do some special things. And particularly, can he get back-to-back goals for the first time today for East Point? Comes in with a kick. It's across the face. And off hands and out of play. 15.5 minutes played. Third term action. 5-9-39. Trails 9-7-61. East Point deep inside forward 50. Trying to kick back-to-back goals for the first time this afternoon. And we're back underway with Whittaker doing some ruck work. Took it out of the air. In the end, he's shared it between him and Richards, and a stoppage is the result. One down by Dunstan. Grant. Kick was smothered. Diving was Atchison. Murphy in there as well. In the long sleeves, he's wrapped up. East Point need to get someone on the move here. The likes of a Taylor or the dangerous Canny. It's come away, though, the way of Redan. Murphy towards the outer side. Matthews try to keep it in. Appeals for out in the full from East Point and their contingent. Boundary umpire says it was into the ground and we'll get a ball in. In between half back and centre wing on the outer side, or half forward and centre wing if you're an East Point fan listening to the entertainment this afternoon. Matthews, handball off was a good one. Farnsworth tried to find Richards, couldn't complete the mark. Craig Peters makes it look better, follows it up. His kick's awful towards half forward, tough one for Boyer to deal with. Hannaford slid in, hand pass found his way to McDougall. Looks for the 1-2 with Dodd. Craig Peters was bearing him down. He looked back for a second and said, "Can I get away?" And CCP said, "No, thank you." Ran him down, sends it back inside, forward 50. Madden can take the mark. Hannaford punches away, and Q comes broadcast side. Lamb has the boundary line as his friend and is able to see it out of play. Attacking side of centre wing for East Point. Walsh having a run the ruck against Dunstan. Knocked it over his head. Lamb came through. Taylor did as well. He tried to extract it not once but twice to McDougall. He only shoved it as far as Lamb and copped him high. Throws the head back in disgust. Can't believe it, can Bryson. After being run down moments ago, he's getting another free kick as Broadbent comes broadcast side. Howard did well. Got to Conlon. Now Walsh off a standing start. High ball to a half-forward line. County had 3 to beat. Did well to neutralise the contest, bring it to ground. Big tackle by Lamb on Jeffries, and a sling tackle, says the umpire, which will give Jeffries a chance. Looks inside, forward 50, has the loose man in Nesta. Kick, had a bit too much on it. And the free kick, I think, is going to be paid to him as it's on inside, deep inside, forward 50. Nesta copped the front on contact. East Point players don't like it. The fans don't like it. But if it results in a shot on goal, that's all they will like. And now 50 will bring Nesta to the goal line to guarantee back-to-back goals for the first time this afternoon. As it's still going on inside D50. But most importantly, Nesta's going to pop it through. And East Point, as we approach time on the third, are going to breathe in a bit of resurgence into this one. He goes 6-9-45, trails 9-7-61 here live at the Eastern Oval. Nesta becomes East Point's third goal kicker of the afternoon, joining Whittaker and Canny on the score sheet. And a free kick's going on in the middle to restart here with East Point and Van Meel. So after back-to-back goals, a bit of undisciplined play maybe by the young Lions here coming into it. Dodd towards Johnston. Marks on his chest. You can tell the momentum in the game has changed. Inside forward 50, looking for Jeffries. Couldn't mark. Canny try to fist it forward. Lamb getting back. Hand pass off, finds Fitzgibbons. Tried to get it to Atchison, but was dumped illegally, said by the umpire. And the opposing skippers, the opposing number 7s, doing better there. Fitzgibbons will come away with it. Trying to manufacture the kick down the line. Was never going to make it to Atchison. Marks taken there by Canny. He plays on, looking towards full forward. Umpire off the field has played a push. Early whistle. Big fly by Walsh coming through, but free kicked the way of Redan. And there's a lot of whistles and a lot of intensity picked up in this one. Murphy. And now 50. Cold stand. Conlon did not. He'll get brought to true centre wing as the spice has picked up here at the Eastern Oval. Looks down the line, finds McLean. Taking side of centre wing. Waits for the cavalry to arrive. Measures the ball inboard and finds Fitzgibbons. Paddy Fitzgibbons with it from 60. Wants to come across and give it back to the man in Murphy. Looks to the lead of Grant. In the end, it's found its way to Bell. Probably doesn't have the journey. Goes into the pocket. We had to lose Atchison. He just plays on, lines up, and pops to the easiest goal kick of his career. He floated in unopposed. No one saw him. He's invisible and kicks Redan's 10th of the afternoon. (10-7-67) leads 6-9-45. Atchison floated in unopposed inside forward 50 and popped through a goal against the runner player. Desperately needed one for Redan to continue their ascendancy in the contest. Back underway, Madden doing the ruck work, was dumped by Van Meel and is gone. We've seen free kicks either way for Slingsgo. This one was deemed legal and a free for East Point. McDougall will mark on half forward. Has the overlap in Hucker. Ignores that and drills it into the pocket and missed his target in Merritt. And the old coach and Jared Giampolo outfoxed Bryson McDougall, who's had bad terms, it has to be said. As Giampolo goes down the line, well played there by Howard. Broke his way to the front, took the mark. Now called to go as he sends it inside 50, looking for Walsh. He's got it, second by the cherry. Continues to run and fly from 4 or 5 deep, does Mitch Walsh. And taken one wonderful mark and now a second. Got with a bit of hobble. And wiser to it was Brad Whitaker, who just led early and gave him another option. He's palmed it off to Walsh. He marks about 30 metres out on a pretty tight angle for the veteran. Tough area of the ground to kick here at the Eastern Oval. Have to thread it through Will Whitaker. Starts his approach now to make it a 16-point ball game. Whitaker kicks the goal. It's a cracking contest this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In round 6 action, the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League at the Eastern Oval. 7 goals, 9-51. Trails 10 goals, 7-67. Johnston through to midfield. Sends it inside 50. Broadbent. Well, he took the mark, but the umpire said it was touched off the boot. And fortuitously for East Point means they can lock it inside 50 at the 25.5-minute mark. They're on the surge. Madden going nowhere, wrestling with it. With Dodd. Another ball up. Repeat stoppage inside forward 50 for the Kangas. Madden comes away with it. Left foot kicks just gone the required journey. And the veteran and Dean Matthews slides in. Most experienced line out there this afternoon goes short and finds Madden. Getting asked to come broadcast side, but decides to go to Truce enough back and find short. His ball's a good one. Finds Broadbent. Comes across and Atchison at defensive centre wing. Dumps a long one down the line. It's a good one to Fitzgibbons too. He marks. 60 from goal. Sends the kick towards the top of the goal square. Johnston from the back. Didn't impose the contest and fell in the lap of Grant. In an uncomfortable area made for Geordie Johnston. He didn't get a fist on it. And just waiting down, maybe for a crumb more than anything, it fell in the lap of Isaac Grant. He will line up for his 4th of the afternoon and a steadier for Redan as we approach 3/4 time. Isaac Grant for number 4. Pretty much directly in front. He doesn't miss these. He doesn't let me down. Redan moves to 11 goals, 7-73. East Point 7-9-51 as we approach 3/4 time. End-to-end stuff, as I've mentioned a number of times this afternoon. Grant has 4. Redan have 11 for the afternoon. And we're back to that 22-point margin here, live at the Eastern Oval. Van Meel wins it down. Craig Peters goes off the deck. Fitzgibbons to get there first. Wrapped up there by Hucker. As Craig Peters is sore getting up. Keep an watch on him. I've done some damage as the Footscray listed VFL footballer. It looks good to continue though. And we'll be back underway. Vermeer wins it down. Bit of a hold. Should be a free kick to Johnston. Plays on. Runs his full measure. And thumps one inside forward 50. He was looking for Whitaker. Bounced in front of him. Goes out the back and finds Merritt. Off there to Dodd. His kick was smothered. Fortuitously went towards Whitaker. Tried to ride the tackle. Umpire said he ducked and waves play on. Merritt follows up with a big tackle. Ball's very close to the boundary line, but the umpire says, give it to me. He will throw it in the air at the 28.5-minute mark. Just outside 50. CCP watch. He's just come off the field. Waving off the trainers, though, which is a good sign for Redan faithful. Back underway. Johnston from the clearance. High ball will go towards the top of the goal square. Lamb with a fist. Brought it to ground. Broadbent got it to Matthews. Manufactures a left foot kick down the line. Ball on in earnest. Hannaford is knocked over there by Richards. A glimpse of the future of both sides. Two highly touted youngsters that could lead their respective football clubs in years to come. We're back underway. Madden wins it down. In the end, got his own footy. Had a fresh area with the kick, though. Big tackle on Dodd means he's going nowhere. A ball up, 29.5 minutes played in the third term. And by giving the ruckman plenty of time to reassess. Kelson slung the ground. Umpire says going nowhere. Vermeil in the ruck once again against Madden. Madden hands on it first. Bond trying to knock it back towards Grant. Lawson on hands and knees going nowhere. And for about the third time at half forward, we'll get a stoppage. Ticked over 30 minutes into the third term. 7 goals, 9, 51 trails. 11 goals, 7, 73. Madden went high and landed hard on his side. Umpires picked out a free kick. Bit of high contact and a free kick will go the way of the Lions. We've, of course, seen plenty of push and shove in this term. Madden goes short to Ashenson. In between half-back and centre wing on the broadcast side. He elects to go further behind and find Grant, who measures the 15-minute ball. So Madden can slide in and take the mark. So we're back to where this all started. He goes back to Atchison. Good clock control here by the Lions. Happy to take some sting and time out of the contest. Wave to play on. And he just dumps it down the line now. Bond flies early. Johnston spoiled himself more than anything. Murphy dumps inside to a vacant 50. Ball bounces into the left foot pocket. Remarkably stay in the field of play for McLean to go off the deck and kick the goal. Fortune favours the Brave, and how important is that goal on the stroke of three-quarter time going to be? It stayed in remarkably. McLean got a couple of sockers to it, popped through his third of the afternoon, and makes it 12 goals, 7.79. Redan lead at three-quarter time. East Point, 7 goals, 9.51. We'll take our final break, and we'll be back for a fascinating final team here live at the Eastern Oval.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
We are back here for the fourth and final term, live at the Eastern Oval in round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. East Point, well, they were firm favourites going into this one. It's a Redan side without the likes of George, Hoy, Barnes and Barker. And they lead by 28 points remarkably at the three-quarter time. East Point have a slight breeze advantage. They've struggled to get it between the big sticks this afternoon, particularly in that second term when they kicked 3 goals, 5. It's a pretty simple message from Jackson Merritt. Get inside forward 50. I hope their premium forwards can get the job done. Canny's kicked 4 on limited opportunities. Whitaker's got a couple. Walsh has looked menacing in the air. They have the talent. They have the cattle. They also have 2 Johnston brothers that we know can do special things. So they're not out of this one. But it is the Lions that hold the ascendancy in this contest. We're off and running for the final time today. Lovic, right foot kick towards half forward. Walsh couldn't gather. Atchison did enough to worry him out of the contest as Giampaolo steps over the line. We'll get a ball in on the half forward line for the Kangas. Van Meel and Dunstan, the 2 ruckmen to start. One down by Dunstan. Johnston went without it. Kicked it off the ground, and umpire said it was in danger. Not for the first time today we've seen that paid, and a free kick will go the way of Redan, and looks like the way of Bond. Looks backwards and finds Atkinson. Has Wirtz breaking for him to complete the switch, and he marks. So would run his full measure away from McDougall. Kicks a good one in the Broadbent direction. McCanny, like a thief in the night, slipped in and fisted out of play, and we'll get a ball in between half forward and centre wing on the broadcast side. So those little 1%ers that East Point haven't done this afternoon compared to their Redan counterparts. Van Meer wins it down. Johnston boots a ball over the head of this direct target. Hucker slapped it back inboard and gets it back. Now's Isaac Hucker. Runs to 48. Has a man in the goal square and Merritt and hits him on the chest. So Jackson Merritt, first game of the season off a long injury layover in the off-season. Starting forward in this final term, and to kick-start his side's comeback directly in front, Merritt comes in and pops it through. East Point moved to 10 goals 9. Sorry, 10 goals 9. 8 goals 9 here. At the Eastern Oval, trailing Redan, who are 12-7-79. I was just asked if I was seeing the future with my call of 10 goals. Maybe the first one of this term going the way of East Point. They need to continue this press. There won't be any chance this afternoon of coming from 28 points behind. Johnston couldn't come away with it. Grant with the tackle. Big tackle applied by the youngster there in Carroll. On debut. Done a couple of nice things now. The umpire's taking a long time to get us off and going for the restart again. Dunstan down to Grant. Got boots the ball. Bell. Try to throw it out the hand pass to Richards. Hot handball in the Murphy direction. Tries to slip the Lovic tackle, and the umpire said, "You're gone." Holding the ball. Free kick, East Point. So Lovic, the ever-reliable halfback vice-captain, looks to go long into the outer side. And as I build him up, he's turned it over. Mark's taken there by Bond. Floats in and takes the grab. Dumps one inside forward 50. Looking for McLean. It won't quite get there. Chopping the arm, says the umpire. Free kick will go the way of the Kangas. I need to think about getting the ball onto this attacking broadcast side. Redan have plenty of footballers down the line of this one. One of them is Bond, and he was the man that sent it in and got his footy back. Kick stuff. Comes in board with a kick. Bounce at the feet there with Lawson sliding in. Nesta elected to tap it back to his teammate. Numbers favour the Kangas and Conlon, but he got a case of the fumbles and then tried to sock it off the deck. It does work out to Carson. Hannaford goes backwards. Teammates under a lot of pressure. There's just Lions players queuing up here. Madden with the hand pass, gives it off. Right foot snap. He's all the way home. First goal in senior football for Carroll. He got it between the big sticks. They came from everywhere, and is that the decisive one? 13-7-85. Leads 8 goals, 9-57. Well done to the debutant in Bailey Carroll. Haven't had a host of possessions, but that's the most important one of his career thus far. Popped it through the big sticks in the early stages of the final term. Grant has had plenty of them today. His kick's a beauty. Finds Matthews. He marks. Looks inside 50. Lawson's by himself. Did the work early and got rid of Tillman, and Marks in the right forward pocket, 45 metres out. And if there's any pocket of this ground that's shallow and probably easy to kick from, it's this one here. We saw Whittaker thread one through earlier. Not as acute as this angle. Lawson will kick from 50. It's on its way. It's across the face. Won't register a score initially. And in the end, the Johnston tackle holds things up. Rolling in the field for East Point. They trail by 28 points. And by letting the push and shove go. Back underway. Grant circling, couldn't gather. Matthews with the tackle. And the ball up is the result. Been an enthralling contest this afternoon at the Eastern Oval. Upsets on the cards. Well and truly. One more would seal the deal. Ricochet's at the back. Forced to dump it out of the fence there was Johnston. Walsh couldn't gather. Lamb over the top. Coughed it up to Whittaker. To Matty Johnston. Kick out wide's a good one. Mark taken by Canny. Out the back is Merritt. Has he got the distance on the kick to get him? Yes, he does. And Jackson Merritt marks. Inside forward 50. Wants to centre it up. Had Tillman running inside 50 by himself. And well played by the former AFL footballer and Essendon. Essential kick has found James Tillman. Has kicked one goal this season despite playing defence all year. And for the Kangas, this must go between the two big sticks. Tillman comes in. I'll let the crowd do the work for me. And the groans and moans tells you that it's a minor score. 8 goals 10, 58 trails, 13-7, 85. A big miss in the spectrum of this match. Have to say it's Redan's game to lose from here. Short will do the kicking in duties for the 10th time this afternoon. We'll be happy just to find a loose man or a chest. Runs his full measure and dumps a long one to the defensive outer side. Lamb attacked at full velocity. Umpire's paid a block. It's going to go the way of Johnston. He plays on immediately. Spins around. Sends it towards full forward. Off hands at the back. Where's Canny? Circling with the tackle there on Wirtz. And the umpire says, give it to me. I'll throw it in the air. Top of the goal square stuff. 27 points the margin. Walsh and Dunstan. Dunstan wins it down. Short. Couldn't get it too far. Grant went off the deck. Dives in. Was pushed into it. The umpire said he didn't elect to dive on the football. So a ball up is the result. Now about 25 metres or so out from goal. Giving the ruckman plenty of time to nominate. Neither touch it. Merritt. Towards the top of the square. Russia players get around this one as Lamb somehow goes to a teammate. It was dumped as he tried to kick. Umpires said he tried, and we'll get a ball in. Big scrap in the right forward pocket for the Kangas. Had a golden opportunity moments ago through Tillman to try to get back in this contest. Need to start hitting the scoreboard. Dunstan wins it down. Merritt was trying to bust his way through, couldn't do so. Canny off the deck. Atchison maybe caught one high. He threw the head back. Umpire was wise to that and says, I'll throw it in the air. Repeat stoppages inside forward 50 for the Kangas. But the Redan defence holding up to the challenge. No ruckman nominated for East Point, but it might work out with Merritt. Right foot kick towards the top of the square. It's all lines though, and Wirtz takes the mark unopposed. Short ball will find Broadbent. Now, does he use the overlap of Farnsworth? He elects to kick. Tries to pick out Boyer. Howard dropped the mark and then gave away the free kick for the high tackle. Richards off to Farnsworth, who was fantastic in that opening half. Kick laterally, finds short. Looks for the long one. Looking for Fitzgibbons. Big fly. Had some front-on contact, so he's paid the free kick. The acting skipper this afternoon. In the absence, of course, of Lucky George. Paddy Fitz looks towards half forward. Was looking for Grant. Right off the boot there by Johnston. Plays on. Dumps it down the line. Giampaolo slides in. Got it back to Fitzgibbons. Went inside the Dunstan. Was collected high. And another free kick. Intensity there by East Point, but a bit reckless as you'd expect as they're chasing the game in this position. Fitzgibbons happy to go short this time. And he's second off the clock's a victory for Redan. Upset on the cards as they go laterally to the ex-coach in Jarrett Giampaolo. Has words breaking across at centre-half back. Nothing really open for the switch here on the broadcast side, so tries to manufacture something in the middle. Still might work out towards Murphy. Matthews had tough ball to handle. McDougall trying to bust his way through. Umpire said he didn't take him on and we'll get a ball up. As they're taking a long time again to get the restart, waiting for the ruckman to return. Dunstan down to Matthews. Going nowhere. We'll get another stoppage. In neutral territory here on true centre wing. Van Meer wins it down. Grant, being super, couldn't handle that one. McDougall, sweeping ball's a good one. Just needs to sit up for Conlon. It does, as he hand passes towards Johnston. Has Kenny loose inside 50, and the goal sneak marks. He's kicked 4. Does he go back? I think he might now and shoot for number 5. Take the ownership on himself. Kick some beauties this afternoon. This is the most academic sort of shot on goal he's had. Keeps it low. Does it have the distance? It does. Brady Wicker celebrates on the goal line. Candy kicks his 5th. Leads all comers on the ground this afternoon. And East Point about to amount their final comeback here live at the Eastern Oval. Five goals from Liam Canning leads all comers on the ground. 9 goals, 10-64, trails 13-7, 85. Midway through the final term. Do the Kangas have their last push in them? Needs to start here in the middle. Van Meel had a fresh airy. Hand pass found his way to Grant for Redan. He sends it to a vacant half forward line. Bell up to meter. Couldn't gather. Neither could Howard. Nesta. Try to get through Bell. Couldn't, and he's gone. Holding the ball. The veteran's bigger frame coming into advantage there. Do Redan continue to press as that kick is inside 50? Backing back was Howard with a nice spoil. Matthews up to meet it. And the youngster held up well. 21 points at the wrong end of the field for East Point. Redan pushing for the final killer blow. Hand pass off to Van Meel. Hannaford, run down, manufacture the ball. Lawson through the head back. Umpire wiser to it, says no free kick. And a ball up for 35 from goal. Watch the likes of Grant get on the move here. Lawson's been impressive as well. Spills out. Matthews boots the ball towards the top of the square. Tough one to handle. East Point at numbers in the fence. Howard gives it off to a teammate. They go long towards the outside. Fitzgibbons backing back. Inspirational marks. 60 from goal. Holds it up. He'd be waved to go. Goes long into the pocket. Looking for Boyer. Doesn't quite get there. Quick kick finds its way to Nesta, who got boots of ball for East Point, but out in the full it goes. Redan could send it back in. Farnsworth towards Truce and Arford. Bit off a bit with the kick. Might open the door here for the Kangas. Taylor inside, missed his target. Giampolo sold the foot candy. Dumps it towards full forward. 2-on-1 contest favours at his point, though. Mark is taken by Carson. Short one finds McDougall. They've got to go. He decides to go laterally. Find a teammate there in Valpede. Plays on. Uses that raking left foot kick towards Johnston. Went early, couldn't complete the mark. Wertz took it and was dumped afterwards as we'll get a ball in just the attacking side of centre wing. 16 minutes played in this final term. 9-10-64 trails 13-7-85 in favour of Redan. Match of the round. Round 6 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Hand pass from Kelson. Up and under. Johnston boots the ball inside 50. Merritt takes the mark. It's been a coaching masterstroke by this man. Started forward in this term. Been involved in a couple. Kicked one himself. And now for back-to-back goals to make it all of a sudden a 15-point ball game. Jackson Merritt directly in front. First game of the season, of course. The kick is there. 15 points now the margin. 17 minutes gone in the final term here live at the Eastern Oval. Are those young Redan legs starting to fail? The East Point juggernaut kicked the last couple. It was a 28-point ball game at three-quarter time. They need 3 from here, and we're approaching time on. Bond in the centre. Got it off there to Murphy. Left foot kicks out to a vacant centre wing. Foot race on in earnest. 2 of the fastest in the competition in Fitzgibbons and Nesta. Neither fast enough to catch up with that one as we're going to ball in. Pretty much virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the outer side centre wing position. 10-10-70 trails 13-7-85. Even shots on the scoreboard. 15 points the margin in reality. Ball was going to go nowhere and another stoppage of result. Win for Redan. I've said it a number of times. Missing the experience of Barker, George, Barnes, Hoy. Can they hold on? Quick kick from East Point. Lamb. One of the only experienced few left. Takes the mark. Short ball's good. Finds Madden, who's been super this season since returning from the Tiwi Islands. Comes in board. Finds Grant. Sparing pass. Lowered his eyes beautifully to find Lawson. Looks into the pocket. Boyer bounced off his chest. Thompson trying to come out of defence. That was the moment. Still in dispute. Kick's gone nowhere. Canny in defence, dumps it out of there. Try and take the mark was Atchison working forward. Merritt with the follow-up. Big tackle. Locks it up a centre half back. Got Johnston at full forward still inside 50. The X factor of the entire competition. So they know they can get it down there. Anything is possible from here. If you're an East Point onlooker. In dispute, comes out. Afterburner's turned on by Valpede. Took a bounce, a little dance step, sends him back inside to that left foot. Into that vacant full forward position. Words in a one-on-one. Johnson comes away with a dribbling kick. Bounces all the way through. Once again, he only needs a look. We ticking the time on. 9 points the margins now, ladies and gentlemen, here live at the Eastern Oval. We're into red time. It's back to single figures for the first time since the second term. 11-10-76. Trails 13-7-85. Geordie Johnston had a quiet day for his standards. Kicked an important goal. 3 in a row to the Kangas. Grant can't get it. Kenny, he's kicked 5. He sends it inside forward 50. Mark not taken. Lamb maybe coughed it up. The Kangas continue to press inside forward 50. Hucker lines it up from 48. Near side, minor score. 8 points to margin, 11-11-77. Now to 13-7-85. Redan know they can't just go into full defensive mode yet. Too much in the contest left. They need another goal. They press and they press and they couldn't break down the damn wall. At fullback, Short will bring it in the field of play. Looks to go to a pack of players long on the outer side. High up and under kick. Dunstan, or as a decoy, flew more than anything. Ball hits the turf. And umpires picked out a free kick. High contact. Free kick going the way of Dodd. Plays on to his natural left side. Thumps it back inside forward 50. Looking for Walsh. Couldn't take the mark. Farnsworth with a tackle. Ball in dispute. Johnston had a fresh airy. Umpire waves play on. Ball goes out towards the boundary line. And deliberate! Would you believe it? The umpire has paid deliberate out of bounds. And Merritt has it. Tucked in the right forward pocket. On his non-preferred. Was he go left foot or check side? Tries to check side. Hits the wrong side of the ball. Walsh couldn't take the mark across the face. And maybe a bit of justice for Redan's fans who couldn't believe that was paid deliberate. Neither could I in the commentary box, to be honest. Deep inside 50 though for East Point. Points don't help them. They needed one more goal. And we're back underway. Dunstan wins it down. Grant with the clearance. Doesn't clear D50. McDougall with a stiff arm. Got away from 1. Didn't get away from 2. Wasn't paid the free kick where Redan by the umpire. Put the whistle away, which is on that occasion. But a stoppage at halfback is the result. 23 minutes played. Final term. Enthralling contest. 8 points to margin. Van Meel wins it down. Matthews threw the head back. Conlon came through. Dodd with the hand pass. The first gamer there in Carroll. Tried to find the ball towards Grant. Lovick going nowhere. Ball up. Thought he kicked the match winner. Did Carroll. East Point have slammed 3 goals since to breathe new life into the contest. Lawson brought to ground by Q in the tackle. Johnston trying to direct traffic, trying to clear up some space. Give his players a fresh run at it. Madden wins it down. McDougall trying to rush it forward. Uses his strength. Picked up and it's gang tackled by not 1, not 2, but 3 Redan players. A ball up at centre half forward. Madden wins it down again. Johnston out the back. Found Conlon. Off a standing start, it was smothered by Farnsworth. And another ball up as we move towards neutral territory of the centre of the ground. 24 minutes played. Sun shining. And what's been a cracking game of football here at the Eastern Oval. Dodd's going nowhere. Another ball up. Round 6 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. It's Redan by 8 points. Matthews slaps it forward. Johnston couldn't pick it up. Q went without it. Murphy in the back. Free kick. Fakes a cramp. Professionally done. Has to try and find a chest. Measuring pass was for Madden. Fisted away. We'll get a ball in. Time ticks off for 25 minutes. There's enough time for East Point. Van Meel and Dunstan to go in the ruck. The ball doesn't get there. Hit Matthews almost in the noggin. And a ball up's a good result as time ticked off for Redan. Any precious second away they will take. Johnston with the hand pass. Taylor trying to slap it back. Grant didn't take possession. Lawson to Matthews. Knocks it straight towards the boundary line. And so does Broadbent to see it out of play. Another ball in on centre wing on the broadcast side. Almost played 26 minutes in the final term. East have kicked the last 3. Grant tries to fist forward. Johnston inspirationally gets it forward. Now to Taylor, who runs his full stride. Sends it inside, forward 50. Bond with the back. Geordie Johnston overcooked it. Lawson to Matthews. Valpleed spun. Gave it a dod. Too hot to handle. Grant off to Lawson. He dumps it out D50 towards the boundary line. Carson keeps it in. Dumps it down the line. Toolman will fly between 3 or 4 of them. Atchison boots the ball. Madden's in front and he takes the mark. Slows things down. It's a vital mark on the attacking side of centre wing. Long towards Bell on the boundary line. That's a win still for the Lions. Ball in, half-forward line, broadcast side. We've played almost 27 minutes in this final term. Can't be that long left in this one. Told there's about 2 minutes or so. One down by East. Quick kick there by the youngster and Carroll. And in front, mark is taken by Bell. He'll take his 30. Although he's elected to pass it off. I'm not sure why. It's fisted out of play. At the right end for Redan, but I would have thought Grant Bell, one of the most experienced players out there, would have taken his 30, dumped a long one towards the square, goes through for a point, marked by East Point. Who cares? You've taken 30 seconds off the clock. Now a stoppage inside forward 50. And a neutral ball in hand. One down by East Point. Quick snap by Lawson. It's bending! Right to the Lions, off hands for a minor score. Just didn't have that metre or so on it. 9 points the margin. They've got to go down the middle. Lovick knows the situation. Looking for Jeffries. Went between his fingertips. At the back. Hand pass off. To Bell. Lawson steps around a whoopie tackler. Off the Broadbent from 40. And to win the game. Game, set, match. Redan will get the 4 points. $14 goals, 892. The Lions lead East Point 11-11-77. Gallant fight back from the Kangas, but a goal to Broadbent in the last 90 seconds or so will seal the deal, and they will get the unlikely 4 points. I said pre-game, an average winning margin of over 7 goals for East Point. Taylor goes from the contest, looking for Merritt. Couldn't complete the mark with the one Duke. Jeffries had a quiet game. Bond with him. And Atchison's wrapped up by Jack Jeffries, going nowhere. We will get a stoppage. And by clears a bit of space to get us back underway. Slap towards the boundary line. Taylor, left foot kick towards the hot spot. Whitaker couldn't complete the mark. Quick snap by Merritt. Appeals for touch by Redan. Goal umpire and central umpire are going to confer. It was an immediate reaction from the Lions. And it's adjudged a behind. 11 goals, 12.78. Trails 14 goals, 8.92. Short to bring it in for the 12th time today, the 30-minute mark of this final term. Long one to the outer side. Big fist forward by East Point. Giampolo missed it. Jeffries slipped it in off. Johnston with the outside of the boot. Misses. Again, another minor score to East Point. Sums up their day. Haven't been able to convert in front of the big sticks. 24 scoring shots to 22 in a tight contest. And this young Redan side are going to record their best victory of season 2023 without 200 games plus of experience. They go long to the outside. Atchison at the bottom of the pack. Lawson, who's been fantastic. Madden coming through. You have to remember, Craig Cooper-Peters, CCP, he went off at three-quarter time, went up the race, hasn't emerged since. So arguably missing their best player in his final turn as well to hang on. Neither ruckman touch it. Lawson brought the ground there by Johnston. 31 minutes now gone in this final term. It's a 13-point margin. Murphy brought to ground. Umpires picked out free kick. High contact. And that will do it here from the Eastern Oval. What a game of football. Final scores are 11 goals, 13, 79. East Point have gone down to Redan. 14 goals, 8, 92. For the Lions, Grant kicked 4 up forward and was probably best on ground and probably get 3 Henderson medal votes to his name. McLean bobbed in with 3 as well, with singles to Bond, Atkinson, Bowell, Broadbent, of course, the one at the end, Farnsworth, Lawson, and the youngster, Carroll. Whilst for the Kangas, 5 to Canny inside forward 50. He is one of the best smalls in the competition going around at the minute. A couple to Whitaker, a couple to Merritt, and then Nesta and Johnston of the Geordie variety kicked their other goals in this one. It was a hot affair, a lot of feeling in the contest, but the upset victory and 4 points goes the way of Redan. Thank you for joining us here live this afternoon at the Eastern Oval. Until next week, it's a bye from now.